Hello and welcome to another day. It's a Tuesday and it's the daily live lesson with me. And we're looking at verb patterns with prepositions. And that's what we're going to look at today. I hope you're all doing well. I'm just going to share the video and we can then begin. It's a hot day, but it's a bit overcast. It's a bit cloudy. Today here in Malta. So let's just see if I can find the video. I'm glad some people have found the video. I can't find the video yet, but I eventually will. I look forward to, in the future, I eventually will sort this out. I'm currently trying to train myself to use one or two good computer tools that can help improve the YouTube lessons, as well as start advertising them before, so I don't have to do the current method that I'm doing. I myself can't find the video yet, which is not surprising. And here we go, finally. So let's share. And done. Cool. So I'll wait a little bit for people to come. On the front cover, hey Irina, good afternoon. Lovely to see you. So on the front cover, it says keep on surfing. And that is an example of what we are going to look at today, the language structure. As for surfing itself, I really like surfing. I haven't really tried it, to be honest. I've only tried it once. Does the sentence need a comma? Nope, doesn't need a comma. Keep on surfing. No, doesn't need a comma. But we are going to look at the verb pattern with the preposition, and that's what we're going to look at today. Verb patterns can be a little bit confusing. Bruno Okada says good afternoon. Good afternoon, Bruno. Alejandra says hi. Hi, Alejandra. Lovely to see you here. So we're going to have a little look at that. But for now, we're just going to wait. We're just going to wait for some more people to join the lesson. Okay. Like I said, in the future, I am going to eventually sort out and improve the way these sessions are done, these live sessions. I'm currently trying to teach myself to use one or two tools that can advertise the lesson in advance. And once I've understood how to use that properly, then I'll then be able to start doing these a lot better. And in the distant future, if I can get a green screen, I can then start to play around with the actual set a little bit and make it a little bit more visually pleasing. So when we are going to, I tell you what, we'll make a start, and when more people join, they'll join. I can see the number increasing. Sandra says, hi, Richard. Hi, Sandra. Lovely to see you here. So the first thing we need to know about is this. This is the structure that we're looking at. It's verb patterns. And it's to do with when there is a preposition. Now, this can be a little bit confusing, but it's important to know. Now, I'm not going to be talking about the infinitive here. For instance, I want to run, for example. Want to, that's always goes hand in hand. To is the preposition of want, and this is the infinitive form as well. We are not looking at the infinitive form in terms of the standard preposition to and run. What happens here is that you're going to have a preposition plus the verb, which has an ing. This is very common in English and it can be a bit confusing, but I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to take you through it very carefully, but it's really important to know. But the first thing we need to know is what preposition goes with what verb, because now we are talking about dependent prepositions. And dependent prepositions are important to know. Now, what we're also looking for is this. We're not talking about the preposition that comes before a verb, but sometimes a preposition that comes after a verb as well. So let's start off with the actual one, the example over here. For instance, let's go with you need to keep on surfing, for example. You need to keep on trying. You need to keep on going, for example. Any ones that you might like over here. What's the structure? Okay, you've got the need to keep. Okay, so the first part is following what you would be used to, what you're used to seeing. That infinitive form, the verb, the to, then the verb. But what comes after is different. What comes after is the preposition. You've got this other preposition afterwards, and you've got keep. Now, the preposition of keep is on. And that's what we're looking at first. So the first thing we need to do is we need to look at the dependent preposition of an actual verb that comes after the verb, not before the verb. So let's have a look at one or two examples, and we'll keep on going with this. So I'm going to start off with a verb that I think most people know. Okay, now ask. Okay. So in its normal form that you'd be used to, you might see, I want to ask you a question, for example. I'm sure most of you will know this structure. I want to ask you a question. Now, what is the preposition of ask? If you are then going to use the preposition after ask, well, it's ask plus about. Okay, so now look at what happens when we want to try and do this. I want, actually, let me make sure I write this down correctly. Let's go with she. She asked. Can we write it in the present? Yeah, we'll keep it to the past. Okay. She asked about making more food, for example. Okay, so I've gone for the past, but the preposition is about. So what we see here, we've got our verb asked about plus the verb ing. And that's how we are writing this sentence. So we've got ask, we've got our dependent preposition, which is about, plus our verb ing, which in this case is going to be making, ing. So in this case, making. Okay. To give you another example, he will ask. Now you can throw in a preposition if you want to. That's okay, but you're still going to have to follow with the correct preposition. So he will ask about, or he will ask you about. He will ask you, or he will ask about developing. So he will ask about developing this app of yours, or he will ask you about developing this app of yours. If you say app of yours, it's your app, basically. So this is an example of how we can use this in the future. This is still a future simple, as she asked about making more food is still a past simple. This is simply a verb pattern that we need to know about. And again, it's about knowing the dependent preposition of that verb. And when you learn a verb, it's a really good idea to look at what the preposition of the verb is. So I'm going to write an incomplete sentence here. And I just want you guys to write I want you to try and complete the sentence for me. So we're going to go with asked. Yes, man. Let's see. So he asked the new car on Sunday. We can see that the verb we need to think about is drive. Let's see what we are going to create. Remember, guys, just look at the examples there. You need to put in the dependent preposition, which we can see in the examples that we've put in. And then we need to make sure that our verb is going to follow this verb pattern, verb ing. Let's see what you guys write. And then we will move on from there. And the first thing we are then going to look at now, once I can see that we have all understood the structure, is making sure we know what the prepositions are that we need to know, that we need to use, the dependent prepositions. These dependent prepositions are really important, and you can learn them at any level. Alejandra says, okay, he asked about driving the new car on Sunday. Sandra says he asked about driving the new car on Sunday. And Arena F says he asked about driving the new car on Sunday. Perfect. Well done, guys. That's off to a great start. So we have understood that it is the verb plus preposition plus verb ing. Really important, and we're off to a great start. So now let's look at what the dependent prepositions of some verbs are, because that will make a really big difference. Okay, let's start off with this one here, because there's two possible ones, okay? We're going to look at this verb agree, okay? And I'm going to give you three options. Two are correct. Okay, so we're going to look at the word agree, and there are two correct answers. So agree has two dependent prepositions. The options are agree with, agree in, or agree on. Which two prepositions do you think are correct? Which two can we use with agree? So we've got our verb agree, and there are two prepositions we can use after we use the verb agree. The choices are with, in, and on. And it will follow that whatever we go with, the verb afterwards is going to have to be a verb ing. So let's first see. So A and B, Alejandra thinks A, Sandra thinks A and B. Okay, any other ideas? No one has said C yet. Okay, I'll give you a bit more time to think. Don't forget, there are two correct answers to this. Agree, and then we've got either agree with, agree in, or agree on. What do you guys think? At the end of this, I will share a good website that you guys can use that can give you some more good examples. Okay, I'll tell you what the answer is. The answer is A and C. So we can say we agree with or agree on. Okay, so those are the two prepositions we can use with the verb agree. So we've got the word agree, and we can say, let's say we're going to go with on, okay? And the verb is spend. Can you guys try and create a sentence with agree on and spend for me? Agree on and spend for me. I should say this, okay. When do we use with? When do we use on? And I think that's a good thing to point out. With is usually going to be more to do with people, a verb associated with people. And on more to do with action. Having said that, what I would say is a really good idea to know is, I tell you what, this is a good general rule of thumb that is that you're not going to go wrong on, okay? I agree with plus, you can go with a pronoun, like you, and you can go with, yes, I think that's a very good rule to know. I agree with you, I agree with her, I agree with them. So I agree with them doing this, I agree with you doing that. Okay, so if you want to use with, you need to put a pronoun in between. If you're not going to use a pronoun, then I suggest go straight to the verb. Agree plus on plus verb ing. So I'm going to write an example. So I agree with you spending your money on this computer, for example. So here you can see I've gone with the preposition you. But if I just go straight to on, I would say I agree on spending this money on a new car. Okay, so this is how you can decide between if you need to use with or on. You use with if you're going to put a preposition in before your verb, but if you're going to go straight to your verb, just go with on. So I'm going to write two incomplete sentences and you guys can decide what to do. So that's number one and number two. There's a different meaning, changes the meaning, but we need to think carefully. So let's see what we do. One has a pronoun in between the verb, the preposition of agreed and the verb, and the other one just goes preposition verb. So that's something we need to think about. Let's see what you guys write. Don't forget, look at the examples above. We've got, I agree with you spending your money on this computer. We've got agree with plus the pronoun plus the verb ing. And then in the second example, we have, I agree on spending this money on a new car. The meaning changes. Bruno Okada says she agreed with her on doing the course. She agreed with her on doing the course. You can actually get away with that, but the on is probably unnecessary. You can just go, she agreed with her doing the course. You don't need to put in two prepositions there. But a nice go, good stuff. Alejandra, Yes, she agreed with her doing the course. That's good as well. That's fine. That's the correct answer for number one. She agreed with her doing the course. We've gone with because of the pronoun and then gone straight in with the verb ing. Good. Let's see what your answers are for the second one. Remember, in the second one, you've got no pronoun. So there's only, you need to go with only one preposition here. Between with and on. But I like what you guys are doing here. I can see that you're beginning to understand how this rule works. Like I said, it's really important to know when to use with, when to use on. It makes a really big difference to the meaning of the sentence. Sandra says, I agree with you spending time for training in the gym. Really close. I agree with you spending time. Okay, Sandra, I see what you're going with here. You don't. The question is, you've gone for time for. Now, time for can be a preposition of time, but it's probably an unnecessary extra bit here. You can simply say, "I agree with you spending time in the gym." I would recommend that as your answer. You're probably adding extra. You're trying to add extra when you don't need to add extra. But I like what you're going for, though, nonetheless, Sandra. So that's a really good attempt. Alejandra says for the second one, she agreed on doing the course. That is the correct answer for number two. And Bruno Okada says she agreed on doing the course. Yes, excellent. Okay, so those are the correct answers. Well done, guys. Sandra, just going back to you, I agreed with you. I agree with you spending time probably at the gym, maybe, or in the gym, at the gym. Probably at the gym is going to be the correct preposition for that one because it's a place. But really good effort though, Sandra. Well done. Okay, good. Let's look at the next one. And here we're going to look at the verb apologize. Okay. Now I'm going to write, I'm just going to first write this, apologize. Okay. You've got the UK version and you've got the US version. Please know that the US version is spelled with a Z instead of an S. So let's look at this. Okay, apologize. What do you guys think the prepositions are? Okay, so you got the choice: apologize to, apologize for, or apologize on. What do you guys think? Apologize to, apologize for. What do you guys think? Now, I should say there are two correct prepositions, but there's only one correct preposition that we can use when it comes to adding the verb ing. Good. Okay, so you've all got it right, 2 and 4. The first thing is this. If I use apologize to, I have to go to someone. I'm not going to go to a verb. So apologize plus to plus someone. I'm not going to go with a verb. So I apologize to you. I apologize to her. The correct one for the verb is going to be for. So Alejandro, you were correct with your first answer, for, okay? So you can use apologize plus for plus verb ing, and that is the one we need to go with. So I apologize for being late. This is this is a typical sentence that you would say to your teacher. So it's a good simple, it's a present simple, technically. It's just a verb pattern within the present simple. I apologize for being late. So let's go with this. Let's see what the answer is here. I'm going to throw in a negative because you can use a negative in this. So I'm throwing in an extra thing here, and that is a negative, not. So when you are using this, you can break the preposition and the verb up by putting not. So if you're going to use the negative, you put not in between the prepositions. So you go preposition plus not in the negative plus verb ing. Now, it's important to know about this in the negative, because if you apologize, usually you're apologizing for maybe not doing something. So that's why we need to know about where to put the negative. So let's see what you guys go with. So Bruno Okada says she must apologize for saying hello in the morning. You just need to put not in there, and then that would make the complete sentence. Yes, for not saying good. So Bruno Okada, that is correct. You just need to put not in order for the correct meaning to be there. But well done. And Alejandra, thank you very much. Well done there for not saying good. That's the correct answer. So I think we can see what we're doing here. Right, let's look at the next one here. Now, this is a good one to know. Now, I don't know if you guys know this next verb, so I'm just going to show you. So Arena says she must apologize for not saying hello in the morning, and Sandra says the same thing. Good, well done. Now, adapt. Adapt simply means, is a synonym of the word change, such as I need to adapt to my new class. I need to adapt to my new job. I need to adapt to COVID-19. I need a change in some way. I need to change my way of doing things. So adapt and change are synonyms. And the preposition of adapt is to. You adapt to. Now, I can say I must adapt to the situation. Now, this, again, is a present simple. And you can see here, I've gone with adapt plus to plus object of the sentence, which is a noun. Well, article and noun, okay? So there I'm not using a verb ing, but what happens if I go with a verb? So, as an example sentence, we can write something like this. We can say, people need to adapt to changing environmental conditions, for example. People need to adapt to changing environmental conditions. So this would be something to do with climate change, for example. So I'm going to create a sentence again that is not complete, and this time you guys need to complete the sentence. Okay. So the company needs to adapt. And this is something, okay, when you do use the word adapt, the typical kind of verbs that you'd follow, because you're talking about change, you are going to follow with a verb such as change. What words would you go with? Adapt to, okay, changing, evolving, those sort of words. Oh, think again, Alejandra. Don't forget, you need to go with the verb ing. So you got the preposition, then you need the verb ing, just like in the example above. Okay, so Alejandra says the company needs to adapt to changing the way they market their product. Sandra says the same thing. The company needs to adapt to. Don't forget to. So this is one of the ones which can be a bit confusing because you're used to using to as an infinitive. But in this case, when you use the word adapt, adapt to verb ing, that's got to remain the same. Now, when we use the word adapt to, you've got to use words that also have a similar meaning to something changing, such as adapt to changing, adapt to evolving. There has to be a meaning of change involved. So the correct answer here is the company needs to adapt to changing the way they market their product. Bruno Okada says the company needs to adapt to changing the way they market their product. Yes, that is correct. That's what you need to go with. So don't forget, guys, when you are using these dependent prepositions that come after the verb ing, don't forget that. Okay, let's go again with one more. Okay. Let's go with need to adapt to. Okay, so let's look at the sentence. We need to adapt to verb that needs to be in the ing, our mentality, because everyone else is changing. Okay, so let's see what you guys come out with, and then we'll move on to the next one. And then let's go with a slightly different one. Changing, Alejandro. Yes, that is correct. Good. Well done, guys. Good stuff. Let's move on to, let's look at two others. Now I'm going to look at two prepositions that we haven't really looked at yet. So let's look at the next one. Yes, well done, Sandra. That is the correct answer. We need to adapt to changing our mentality, for example. So believe, what is the preposition of believe? Is it in or is it on? That should be on. Bruno Okada says we need to adapt to changing our mentality. Well done, correct. Well done, Bruno Okada. So believe, what is the preposition of believe? Do you say believe in or believe on? That is the question. Bruno Okada says in, and that is the correct answer. It is in. So you believe in, then let's look at the verb ing. So we can say, I believe in So, once again, preposition. Next, we've got the verb ing. What is the correct answer here? Throw in another one as well. Sandra says, speaking for the first one. Yes, that is correct. I believe in speaking the truth. Well done. That would be correct. Bruno Okada, I believe in speaking the truth. And Alejandra agrees with Sandra. Very good. Well done. Now, if we throw in a negative, we can see again, we've got the preposition, then the negative not, and then we need to put in the verb. So guys, can you tell me how do we write this verb lie with ing? How is this verb written? Just want to see. It's a spelling thing because it's spelled L-I-E, lie. But how do we write it when we need to write it with an ing? Can we just add an ing? Or do we need to make another spelling change to this? Good. Well done, guys. Yes, L-Y-I-N-G. Excellent. That's the correct answer. Good. Now, depend. What? Yes, well done. So, Alejandra, you are correct. Bruno, you are correct. Arina, you are correct. And Sandra, you are also correct. Let's look at two more. We have time for two more. Depend. Can someone tell me what the answer is? What is the preposition? Depend on or depend? Come on. Depend for. Is it depend on or depend for? And then I'm going to ask you guys to try and create most of the next set of the sentence. So is it depend on or depend for? Depend on or depend for? Actually, do I have time? We might have time. I am going to share this particular website at the end because it's a good one. So Bruno thinks it's on. Irina thinks it's on. Oh, wait a minute. Bruno, I'm not sure actually. Bruno has put on and then B. So maybe both. Irina thinks on. Alejandra thinks B. Okay, guys. The correct answer here is Sandra thinks on. So the correct answer here is depend on. Okay, it's all, and this never changes. There's only one preposition with depend, and that is on. So we can then say it depends on. We can throw in the pronoun if we want to. If we want to. What do you think? I think you guys will get this correct because I think we now have really shown that we understand how these verb patterns work. And I have to say, guys, if you're getting this right, this will make a really, really big difference to your speaking and to your writing. And like I said, you can learn these verb patterns at any level when you learn a new verb. So when you learn a new verb, it's really a good idea to make sure you learn what the preposition of that verb is, because that will tell you how to use this verb, not just in the infinitive or the past simple or in the present perfect, but it will also tell you how to change your sentences using these verb patterns. So Alejandra says, you doing, correct. You doing, Bruno, yes. Irina, I can see that you've just added the R onto you, but I know that's just a typo, so don't worry. You doing the right thing. Well done, Sandra. You doing the right thing as well. Excellent. Okay, let's do two more. We're going to do two more. I mean, we could go on really. There's so many to look at, but let's just do one more. And we're going to go with this, okay? We're going to go with profit, okay? So not in terms of the noun profit, but to profit. For instance, we can say he wanted to profit from the investment. And I've just told you what the preposition is. It's from. So when we use profit as a verb, the preposition is from. So we can say he actually, I'm going to throw in a little bit of a mix here, okay? I'm going to write this in a past continuous, and I'm going to see if you guys can still get this right. Let's go with that. So you will see that even in a past simple here, we've got a past simple, he was profiting, and then we've got I'll start again. We've got a past continuous, sorry, a past continuous. He was profiting, okay? The preposition is still from. But in order to say what he was profiting from, before we can get to our object of our sentence, which is drugs, we need to use a verb. And here we can see something. Even if it is a past simple, present continuous, or in this case, past continuous, if we're going with this structure, the structure doesn't change the verb pattern. I'm still going to have to use the verb ing after the preposition. So Alejandra, he was profiting from selling drugs. Bruno Okada, he was profiting from selling drugs. And Sandra says selling. Well, guys, thank you very much. Absolutely excellent. Please give a like on the video for yourself, because I know some of your levels, and that type of sentence there is really, really good. So if you are a pre-intermediate student, for example, and you write a sentence like that, that is really good, because you will know how to write a present continuous, sorry, a past continuous. You know how to write a past continuous. But to get your verb patterns right like that is probably not just, that is when you start saying, right, as a teacher, you would say to yourself, right, they can do what I expect them to do, but to start writing English like that, that is when you begin to see the person's level of English really beginning to improve. It shows a much better understanding than a low pre-intermediate, for example. Would I expect this from an intermediate? Not necessarily all the time. This is kind of mistakes are made at intermediate level as well. This sort of thing I would expect people at an upper intermediate to know part of the time, not even all the time. It depends if they know their prepositions of the verb. Advanced, they definitely need to know this. So this is really good to see. So I know what your levels are, some of your levels. So I'm really happy to see some of this stuff. And if you leave today's YouTube lesson with knowing how to use this structure, and you can use it when speaking and you can use it when writing, it will really, really improve your level of English. And it helps meaning as well. So guys, I'm going to share this with you, the actual site, a really good site that has lots of examples, and I'm going to leave it in the description below as well. So if you're watching this video later, you can also find the link to this website where there's more of these examples. I do suggest, guys, go to this website in your spare time. Look at the different prepositions that come after the different verbs, learn them, and then start using them, because that will make a really big difference to your English. So really well done. I'm really happy with what I have seen here today. So good stuff. So well done to Sandra, Bruno, Alejandra, Irina F. Anyone else? If I've missed out anyone else, I apologize, but well done to all of you who have commented in the live sessions today. Really good stuff. Excellent. Well done. Like the video for yourselves. You're welcome, Marina. You're welcome, Alejandra. So, guys, thank you very much. I will be back tomorrow, same time. The lesson tomorrow, if I remember, what am I doing? Wednesday, story time, play with language. So tomorrow will be story time, play with language. You're welcome, Bruno. You're welcome, Sandra. Have a nice afternoon as well. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you're new, and share with people who you know are looking to learn English. And don't forget, if you want to find out more about actual lessons at AM Language, click on the link below. There's always going to be a link to our website as well. Thank you very much, guys, and bye for now.